Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman and Secretary Bessent, for your appearance here today, as well as your very nice courtesy call where we were able to identify areas of common interest like digital citizenship. I'd like to speak today about the strength of the U.S. dollar and the decline of U.S. manufacturing, which, as you know, I'm very concerned about. I started this company back when I was 19 years old that now provides over 1,500 manufacturing jobs in the Midwest. And it's not been easy. We started our company in the beginning of the Reagan inflation. Then we had to live through all of the Bush policies and the China shock that occurred on his watch. We lived through just all the ups and downs of this, and it's not an easy thing. And now, in terms of the strength of the dollar, it's affected by many things. It's including central bank policies, interest rates, tariffs, and the balance of trade. But in the long run, I believe that the strength of the dollar reflects the world's confidence in the U.S. economy, in the competence of U.S. leadership, in the value of products made by American workers, and our reputation as a fair place to do business and the rule of law in America. Now, Secretary Bessent, earlier this week, you ran an op-ed in the Wall Street Journal echoing many of the points you made in your testimony. And in that op-ed, you promised, inter alia, more jobs, more manufacturing, more deregulation, lower taxes, less national debt, all while maintaining a strong dollar. On the other hand, Stephen Miran, Trump's choice for the chair of the Council of Economic Advisors, wrote a paper last year arguing for weakening the dollar through something he called the Mar-a-Lago Accords, which you've reportedly been placed in charge of negotiating. The president himself has just been all over the map on almost a daily basis on whether a strong dollar or a weak dollar will make America great again. So my question is, what is it? Does the administration support a strong dollar or a weak dollar?
Sir, I'll work a little backwards. C. Head Miran paper was when he was in the private sector, and I think it related to a range of outcomes. Two, that I believe that the conditions for a strong dollar, they are important for international confidence. And again, when we think of strong dollar, what is a strong dollar? Is it the composite on the Bloomberg of all currencies? Is it a trade-weighted dollar? And then we can also look at bilateral relationships, because much of that could be not so much a strong dollar, but other countries manipulating and suppressing their currencies, which would...
we lived through that in the Bush administration and as a non-reaction to what China was doing, and all about that. But I think it's interesting to look at the historical record here, and I think, I have behind me, a plot of the strength of the U.S. dollar under recent presidents, and I believe your staff has a copy of a one-page handout that could be given to you if it's easier to read. And what it says is remarkable. That it says that under every president, from every Republican president, Reagan, Bush Jr., Trump 1, or now Trump 2, the dollar has weakened. Under every Democratic president, without exception, Clinton, Obama, Biden, the dollar has gone up significantly. And I don't think that's an accident. I think it's because of all the factors, including predominantly the confidence that the U.S. will maintain a well-regulated and well-governed economy and a fair place to do business. Now, and also on that handout, which I think has that actually been given, do you have the copy of the handout with the graphs on it? It's a double-sided single page. We can get you another copy if you want. It also has, the argument in favor of a weak dollar, it should make manufacturing easier in the United States, that's one of the arguments for it. But if you look at the historical record here, if you just look at, for example, change in manufacturing employment under Democratic and Republican presidents, it's remarkable. For longer than you or I have been alive, Democratic presidents have increased manufacturing employment, and Republican presidents have decreased manufacturing employment. From FDR, Truman, Kennedy, Johnson, Carter, Clinton, Obama, and Biden, all increased manufacturing employment. Eisenhower, Nixon, Ford, Reagan, Bush 2, it all dropped. Okay, I don't think this is an accident, but the thing I want to ask you about is how did the Republicans manage to weaken the dollar and weaken manufacturing employment at the same time? Because it seems like that's completely crossways to the narrative that we're hearing from this administration.
Well, sir,
The gentleman's time has
answer for the-
expired. The gentleman's time has expired. The secretary can answer in writing. The gentleman from Tennessee, the vice chairman on Oversight and Investigation Subcommittee, Mr.